Hi, this is Tony Graham with Weichert Realtors Centennial, and I'm here with Cheryl Koontz with First United Bank, and her office is in Norman. Right now, like most of us, she's working from home. So I'm going to ask Cheryl a couple of questions about financing and about interest rates.
Morning.
Okay. You want to tell us who you are and who you're with?
Sure. Cheryl Koontz with First United Bank Mortgage. Been in the mortgage business for over 30 years in Norman and the surrounding areas. Work with Tony forever.
Yeah, we've known each other about that long, I think, too. We both started when we were extremely young. How's that?
Yes, we did.
One of the things I always tell buyers is, you're better off if you will speak with a lender before you actually start looking at houses. And the reason that I tell them, one of the reasons I tell them, is it takes a lot of the anxiety out of purchasing a home.
It's always a good idea to get pre-approved first, because a lot of times people think that they can buy much less than what they actually qualify for. They have strange ideas or just different ideas about what the total payment is going to be and what the total cost is, either for good or bad. Sometimes they don't take into consideration the insurance and taxes and the cost of owning a home, and we help go through all that. But then at other times they've really shortchanged themselves, thinking they can only afford a much smaller house because they aren't aware how low the interest rates are now. They aren't aware that they don't have to put 20% down, that there are a lot of programs that allow no down payment at all.
Okay. What about specific loan programs? Why is that important for people to talk with lenders, local lenders, especially about?
Yes, especially on first-time buyers, or even they don't even have to be first-time buyers, but there are a lot of programs that are government-funded programs, but lenders have to pay to participate in those. So only local lenders are paying to participate in those. So if you should go to an online lender, they would not have the capability to give you what's called a bond loan or a down payment assistance loan in most cases, because they haven't paid as a local lender to participate in that program. Some lenders participate in different community investment programs that they're aware of that mostly lenders that aren't local aren't going to be aware of.
But is the lowest interest rate always the best deal?
No, the lowest interest rate, the very lowest interest rate, is hardly ever the best deal. The interest rates used here locally usually do not include an origination fee. There are several interest rate choices when we quote someone, but usually we stick with what will cost them the least amount of money and give them the best payment. So sometimes the lowest rate, you have to pay what's called a discount point, and points are prepaid interest to lower the interest rate. So whether you want to pay points to get the interest rate low would really depend on your situation, but very seldom is that the best deal for you. So we will, or another lender will give you some choices and really look at what would be best for you. So for example, we did a loan yesterday for a first-time buyer buying a $120,000 house. Well, on the down payment assistance program, they were able to have no money involved at all. The seller would pay the closing costs and a payment of around $820 with everything, which is much lower than what they're paying in rent right now.
Wow. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to look into your crystal ball here, the near term and then the fall. So for right now and the rest of the summer, what do you see the real estate market doing?
Well, right now it's very busy, purchases and people refinancing both. And that is expected to continue. And when people aren't cooped up anymore in their house, traditionally, if there's been an ice storm or something for a day or two, there's a lot of activity after that. So imagine after this amount of time, people will be wanting to move, and it's expected that it'll be really busy through the third quarter at least, and the interest rates are projected to stay down. So the thought is that barring, something really catastrophic happening, that the interest rate should stay down to rates not really seen ever before, where people who hadn't purchased before, or people definitely move-up buyers, would be able to move up to something, and more houses will go onto the market as sellers feel more comfortable in having people inside.
Great. These are historically low interest rates. Well, they really are, at least in my 30 years of experience. So what do you think for the last quarter?
I think it will still be busy. If I knew for sure, I'd be on a beach. But I think it will still be busy through all this year. The rates are really unbelievably low. Even if you look at even the down payment assistance, that program is not a first-time buyer program, and it'll go up to $150,000 in income.
Wow.
And it's a low rate without a down payment. So that just tells you that there's just going to be a lot of activity going on, and I think a lot of people will be moving up as more comes on the market. I think the shortage on the market is really keeping people. We have several people that are just waiting for things to come on the market.
Hey, Cheryl, thank you for your time.
Thanks. Appreciate you, Tony.
And we'll put her contact information up and ours as well. We do real estate, and she does loans for real estate. So we're tied at the hip. So thanks again, and I hope this was a helpful interview. Take care.